We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
The same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
Oh, you better believe we're going to fight them till we can't, man. Listen, guys, real talk. I have been away a very, 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 very long time. Okay? A lot has happened. Let's get the biggest thing out of the way first. You know, because I'm not sure if I've done a show since, but every show from this moment on is dedicated to one person. And that would be my best friend of 17 years, Will Curator, in case you've been under a rock, didn't know. Obviously, I haven't been around to tell you. Will passed away back in September. You know him best as just the guy on the panel that was my IRL friend that, you know, hung out with me all the time. And then he became a co-host. You know, to say that he was the best kind of best friend somebody could ever have is understating it. The guy, time and again, was loyal to the last as far as a friend goes. Anytime I ever needed him, anytime I was in a pinch, anytime I just wanted to hang out and kick it, always there. I just wanted to call the guy up and bitch and vent about stuff, always there. Great man. Great, great man. And even though we butted heads at times, like best friends do, I loved that guy with all my heart. He took me in after I left the extended stay, made sure that I wasn't on the street, and kept me in that apartment of his until, you know, unfortunately, that fateful September evening, I got home from work and found him deceased in his own bed. It's personal, so I won't get into my theories about why Will died. If anybody wants to message me individually and talk about it, we can. But I'm not going to do a disservice to him over the air and put that out there or speculate on it. I just I miss him. I miss him. He had wanted me to get back into this like you wouldn't believe, guys. And in a way, I feel like I let him down. As you can imagine, after Will's wake and everything was wrapped up, I wasn't on his lease where he lived, so I had to leave. The past to heal him, it's great to see you as well. The past 3.5 months have been nothing short of a struggle to survive for me. Tobat knows because he's been in communication with me offline a lot of the time. But I haven't spoken about it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I haven't really been out there publicly much. I was living out of the car for a while. Me and the cats both living out of the car. In July, I picked up a full-time job. I've been working at that since. It seems like my routine has been nothing but work and sleep. You know, I'm definitely, in case you were wondering, certainly not getting paid what I'm worth, that's for sure. You know, in this economy, thanks Joe Biden, we are $14.50 an hour does not get you far. And I'm living in a cheap cost of living city and area of my state because I'm back in my hometown finally. But, you know, $14.50 still doesn't get you far. And I know that I have to, while I'm working, facilitate a change into a better job, obviously, you know, if I want to maintain. But back to the timeline. So I was living on the street. Then I ended up staying with the coworker. And they put me up until finally I was able to raise a security deposit for the place that I'm sitting in now. And then thankfully, due to a little help from the United Way, they got me into an apartment, which I moved into as of the 17th of last month. However, that may be short-lived because I was served a 3-day notice to vacate as of Friday. You know, nice thing to come home from work and receive. But needless to say, you know, I'm trying to work on that. I'm about $400 short on my rent, but we'll figure that out, whatever. I'm, you know, kind of just praying for a miracle here until I get my paycheck this coming Thursday. So we'll see. But anyway, while I'm here, I did finally make it to getting a roof over my head. I did say eventually I was going to accomplish that. I accomplished that, as short-lived as it may be, if it's meant to be that way, but I accomplished that. So that notwithstanding, it is an accomplishment. So the rest of the story here is you guys may remember back at the extended stay when I was last fairly active. I had a woman in my life. Well, needless to say, that is no more. I love her more than anything in this world, and I miss her to death. But she is living with someone else who she apparently now is dating. And oh, by the way, he just happens to be pretty much 70 years old, which, you know, hey, whatever. Some some women just like to trade up to guys with bigger incomes, whatever. You know, I don't know the reasoning, guys. I can't get in a woman's head. I don't expect an explanation, but that's what happened. And no, for those of you that wonder, I didn't get the ring back, but it is what it is. I don't know where that story ends. I don't know if it's truly over. I'm assuming it's truly over for now, but you never know what'll happen. I mean, she could show up at the door tomorrow. I had no idea. But for now, the focus is back on me. And I'll tell you, after everything that's happened, scraping, fighting, clawing, trying to come back, trying to get a place, what happened with Will, and then right a week and a half before Will died, I lost a really good female friend of mine in real life that died. And it's just loss after loss. It seems like crisis after crisis. I'm rolling with the punches. I'm somehow making it through. Survivor strength, hashtag survivor strength. That's what it's been. I've been in survivor mode this entire time. And honestly, I don't feel bad about this. I will share something personal with you guys. I am going to professional counseling, specifically for PTSD, dealing with Will's death, because obviously nobody plans on walking into your best friend's bedroom and finding their body. So I am in active counseling for that, PTSD, depression. So I'm working on it. But I was inspired today. I talked to Tobet about it. I said, I need to get back to the things that I lost. I need to be the supreme heretic. I need to be the Drew that I am. And that is the guy that chases truth, the guy that is the patriot journalist, the guy that is going out trying to talk about the things that nobody is allowed to talk about. That is true. That's how you guys know me. That's how I know myself. I gave that up. A variety of reasons got in the way, real life got in the way, but mainly I gave that up. I lost a lot of myself. And now it's time to put me back together. And I'm going to do it together with you. And I'm going to do it because I need to get back to the important work of telling the fucking truth and saving this planet and the human race, what we can of it. So, that said, some big news I checked out before I got on. In case you guys didn't know, Alex Jones is now reinstated to Twitter. Apparently, there was a big Twitter space tonight, hosted by Mario Nafal. And guys, listen, Mario Nafal, I hate that guy. And I don't even like to use the word hate because you guys know how I feel. I'm a pretty Christian dude, but I really dislike that guy. He is like Sam Bankman-Fried light. The guy is a crypto hustler. He is just like the biggest fraud that there is. Shout out to one of the guys I really respect that does online journalism on YouTube, Upper Echelon Gaming. He just goes by Upper Echelon now. He has great videos, man. The guy did a whole expose on Mario Nepal. Crushed him. Mario Nepal sued him and put the fear of God in the guy, but he was spot on in his expose about him. The guy is a flim-flam, man. He's a shyster, a fake. But this guy continues to get a ton of followers, and people think Mario Nepal is this, great guy. But anyway, he was hosting this Twitter space. Elon was in there. Alex Jones was in there. Alex Jones kind of took it over, as we know how Alex is, and he kind of just stepped on everybody else and started interviewing Elon, which is awesome. I didn't hear the Twitter space yet, but Alex Jones is going to have the edited cut on his show, I believe, tomorrow. And that's going to be awesome, just to hear Alex Jones directly ask Elon questions. And the fact that they're interacting, it's like, whoa, that's like the crossover we didn't think we'd see. But I'm glad that the guy is back, because it's important. Alex Jones's takes are important. Everybody in that space, as far as what is going on, the people that are plugged in to what's really happening in the world, everybody's takes are important because we all have information to offer. Yeah, Owen Schroyer deserved to get out, dude. He was, well, we already know. Listen, the January 6th was a hustle. It was an op. I was there. You guys know that. You guys know the OGs in here that have supported me. You guys know I was live streaming from it that day. It was an op. Hell, Will was on the ground that day. He saw it. It was a complete money-driven honey trap op to basically smear an entire voting demographic. A lot of the voting public, actually. They wanted to smear a lot of the voting public. That's what that was about. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But, it's a shame. But now even that's been exposed because we've seen, thankfully, the Speaker of the House step up and put some of that footage out there. Is it enough? No. I don't think this new Speaker of the House is really, changing the game, but at least he's putting some of the footage out there for people to judge and see for themselves. And you can see with even what's gone out there now that was a totally planned op. CJ says, I still have a theory that Joe Biden has been dead for a long while and that any footage we see of him is AI fake. It could be, dude. Deep fakes are a thing now. A lot of people think that they're using those real feel masks to impersonate them, the ones that the CIA use. And that may be true. I don't think you're wrong about that. It's all part of the distraction for the upcoming selection debacle. Yes. There is going to be, guys, a very good chance, and I guarantee you Wook is going to chime in on this because Wook is going to bet the over on this one. But I would lay odds that there may not even be an election. I would say there's pretty good odds that there's not even going to be an election. I honestly feel that way. And it's a scary time. when we think about that. I was speaking about Wes. How are you, Wes? Wes, if you'd like a link, just let me know. I'll send you a link to come on and chime in. Tobet, yes, you have a great point. They do want to arrest Trump. They are really, really, really trying. And yes, CJ, it's funny how those governments seem to be in lockstep, isn't it? It is. Because again, it's Rothschild money. Rothschild money is controlling everything. Rothschild money, Rockefeller money, all of those 13 original bloodlines. It's all controlling everything. Okay? Soros, people like that, those people are further down the stream, okay? The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all those original old money families control it. And sadly, we know what their whole platform is. It's depopulation. It's population replacement. It's voter replacement. That's exactly what the op at the southern border is all about. That's voter replacement. I was just educating one of my friends this evening, that I've known since fourth grade. She and I were talking on Facebook. I said, did you know about what's going on at the southern border, the voter replacement op and population replacement op? And she's like, no. And I explained it to her. She's like, wow, it makes all the sense in the world. No wonder they're giving them $5,000 gift cards courtesy of the UN when they walk across the border. And take that on the flip side. Meanwhile, yours truly, and I can speak this from experience, the guy that's making $14.50 an hour, working his ass off, okay, I can get a fucking notice like this. You can't really see it, but I can get a fucking eviction notice like this. Oh, we'll evict that guy, but we'll give some illegal. We'll bend over backwards for them. Hey, you want an apartment like he has? We'll get you right in his apartment. Sad. It's sad. They have very low tolerance for somebody like me that's a working American citizen. But hey, we'll hand your apartment over to an illegal, no problem. The other thing about that is, and I wanted to do a video about this because at some point, I stayed in a hotel for a week too during one of those weeks after Will died. And what was funny about that was the fact that, my goodness, there were more working Americans stuck in that poor hotel than there were, what you would consider, drug people or, prostitutes or things like that. I mean, there were just families and working Americans stuck in there. And I had to scratch my head to figure it out. How in the hell do you wind up homeless yet working full time? How does that happen? I mean, that used to be unheard of. Those things never went together. And now, in this day and age, in the past 10 years, you could be working full time and be homeless. It boggles the mind. But it's just a sad state of affairs. And that says where our society is. And it's funny. I've been sitting here and working 40-hour work weeks. And it's funny, guys. About 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago or so, I tore my rotator cuff. You know, I can't raise this arm. I can't raise my right arm, which sucks because it's my dominant hand. So no self pleasure here. But I can't raise it past probably my ear. You know, and I'm still working through. I'm still working through every day, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Working right on through. But you know, I have no choice. I got to I have to just vacuum up every hour that they are willing to give me at work. And I'm at the mercy of it because the reason I got my notice so quickly, you know, and I'm only 6 days late on my rent, but the problem is the last 2 weeks of November, you know, I didn't even have an opportunity to save because guess what? 2 20-hour work weeks back to back. The hours just got, you know, and unfortunately, we're at the mercy of that. They try to keep it 30 and 40 consistently, but it fluctuates. But it sucks. And an honest, hardworking American man or woman should not be homeless, should not have to be homeless. It's just not right. No, I'm not a carpenter. But I'll tell you what, dude, I sure can hammer something, but I'm not a carpenter. Tater Squad says both my rotator cuffs are torn. It sucks. You know, yeah, listen, Tater Squad. Yeah, it does suck. It does suck having the use of your primary, um, you know, your primary arm, you know, deep sixed. It sucks, man. Um, aw. Drew isn't a carpenter, but he has plenty of wood. Yes, you know. I'll tell you what, Godzillionaire. You know, my former and I wouldn't say better half because honestly, look, in that relationship, I carried her. Okay, I was the better half. But my former woman in my life, you know, I'm sure that she's having zero fun with a 70-year-old man. I still can't wrap my head around it. It is seriously, it has to just be for the money. It has to just be for the money. I know it's for the money, actually. It's just so, you know, and the sad thing is, guys, the truth of it is the guy is flipping credit. He doesn't really make that much money. But she somehow has the stars in her eyes and thinks like, oh well, this guy's rich. She has no idea. You know, and it's like I always say on this show, you know, you try to wake people up and you can only wake them up if they actually are conducive to waking up. If not, you know, you can give them the truth right in their face, but if they don't want to, you know, accept it, I'm not going to. Well, I pulled the guy's background sheet and showed it right dead to her face, and she's like, everybody has a past. Whatever, man. You know. So the bottom line is, you know, I mean, being real for a second with you guys, as I always am. I mean, and it's not just because we're all friends here and you guys know me, but look, she lost the most normal, best heart, best unconditional love that she's probably ever going to get from anybody. You know, and it's funny because those of us that are really in tune with other people, guys, and you know, men out there, you guys can especially relate to this. If you're a good dude in any sort of way, then you have that neon sign on your head that says damaged women apply here. Well, I should have steered clear when she said, "Oh, I came out of an abusive relationship." And then what happens? You're the normal one, you get shit on, then they go to another abusive relationship. It's just I can't with these chicks, man. I don't know. There's something else nowadays. You know, if they all had a heart like Rita, I'd be married. But they don't. You know, so anyway, back to back to the general news. I mean, yeah. Alex Jones being back is going to be huge. Obviously, the stuff that is going on in the world, obviously, you know, because I was away for most of this Israel and Palestine conflict, which, by the way, I think is again stage theater. That is manipulation to get into World War III. I think a lot of it is stage theater. That's just me, but you know, that's my opinion on that one. But I want you to keep in mind that Israel, all right, it's not the Israel of the Bible. It's not the Holy Land. And those of us that are Christians, those of us that are Catholics, hey, it's not the Holy Land, man. The Zionist people, the modern Jews, are the ones that take credit for it, but it's not the Holy Land. They want to act like, oh, we're in the land of our ancestors. So, no, dude, the Rothschilds established that state right straight out of the British throne. Okay. So let's not act like it's the good people in Israel. It's not the Israelites of old. It's not the Holy Land type of people. Are there good citizens there? Absolutely. But the people that founded that country are not good. And again, a lot of their government is compromised, as is the governments across the world, by who? The global elites, because they have control of that government too. You don't think they have control of Mossad? The same as they have control of our CIA, the same as they have control of the FBI. Come on. Every intelligence agency around the world, they nearly have control of. The only thing I disagree with you on, Godzillionaire, is just the sacred sites, the sites from the Bible. I do very much have a vested interest in those. I do have a reverence for those sites, but you know, again, don't fall for the distraction. because the distraction is out there. CJ's right about that. RR's right about that. It's and RR, you're not wrong with your last comment. Yes. Oh God, see, I didn't want to get into a religious discussion, but you guys kind of took me in a direction here. And I'm not going to stay on it long, but I want you to understand one thing. All right. And I want to go to one particular story from the Bible, and I will keep it short and sweet. It is one of my favorites, but I just want to equate this because there's a point to it. So stay with me here. So, if any of you are familiar, and I'm not a chapter and verse guy, all right, but if you're familiar with when Jesus met the apostle Nathaniel, all right, and he's talking about the that, like, Nathaniel's like, I don't know you. And Jesus is like, but I know you, bro. I know you because I saw you under the fig tree praying, and I heard you. And my father heard you. Like, I saw you, man. And the point that was made was you don't need a brick and mortar church. Jesus had a traveling ministry for a reason. You don't need a brick and mortar church. And the biggest thing is, okay, and this is why, I'm different from most Catholics. I'm different from most Christians because I truly believe that your walk with God is your walk with God. I don't have the right to judge your walk with God. Same as you don't have a right to judge mine. As long as we ain't out there, being barbaric, committing sin, and doing all kind of fucked up shit, how you pray to God, how you worship God might be different from how I worship God. But we're all on our own walk, man. We're all repenting our sin at different times. We're all doing things at different times. And we don't need a brick and mortar church to do it. I can pray in my own way to Jesus, to the Holy Spirit, to God. Doesn't matter. It might be different than the way somebody else prays, but you know what? That's fine. Because we're in the end, we're Christians, but we all have our unique experiences. We all have our unique walks with God. They run at different paces. They're all different things. So you don't need a brick and mortar church, because that's the thing. When you get in a large group, what happens? Indoctrination happens. The message gets warped because all of a sudden a bunch of people are saying, oh, this interpretation must be right because he said it. No, maybe it's not. Maybe when you read the Bible, the interpretation that you get is the one you're supposed to get, not what somebody tells you. And that's what I'm saying. I have a different outlook on religion and how you do religion. Most of you guys that have followed me, because I've told you the problems with my church, with the Catholic Church. Luciferians are running rampant in it. From the hierarchy on down. The Pope, let's start with him. Globalist, Luciferian. Need I go on? I mean, he's on board with killing babies and reducing the population. Terrible. But, I mean, it's, when you find out these things and then you see the corruption in the other denominations, you can see it clear as day. So again, those of you that do pray. When you pray, when you say your individual prayers at night, pray for discernment. Ask the Lord for discernment. That's what we all need. Because there are so many daily psyops being run, everything. We need to break free of that shit. And the only way that we're going to do it is if we have discernment. And a helping hand from upstairs sure wouldn't hurt in a discernment department. Papa Cotton, you're not wrong, by the way. I've seen the iconography on those walls and everything else. Kind of obvious, right? Mm-hmm. And B is right on too. Pope is a Jesuit. Jesuits founded the Illuminati. There you go. But that's why I love engaging with you guys. God, this chat is so good every single time. Because no matter what direction we go, you guys bring some great points. That's why I love the audience that I have. That's why I love hanging out with you. Because you guys bring truth to the proceedings along with me. Oh, they do. They do, CJ. The society turned away from God and the basic lessons and teachings of the Bible. Everybody mistakes it that you have to go to church on Sunday. You have to. No. You're mistaking the tradition for the lesson. You get the lesson from your interpretation of what you take from the story. You take the lesson in the story when you read the Bible. You don't have to sit there and leave your house to do it. You don't have to sit there and, gather with 25, 35, 100 other people. You just take the lesson. And there's so many lessons just built into the Bible. It's a great book if you just judge it as a book. Because it gives you a nice guideline of shit not to do. To be a decent person. You don't have to even look at it necessarily all the time as a holy book. It's just a guideline on how to be a decent human being to other humans. How to live right, essentially. How to have a moral compass. And of course, people want to turn away from that. Because having a moral compass means having principles, having a set of things, lines that you don't cross. And that's why the liberals and shit turn away from it. They can't stand it. Because then they have to, act right. And it's fine. You should act right. And they just, the way that they are, they just continue to prove themselves to be assholes. They prove the lessons in the Bible, right? Every time, which is awesome. Hail, awesome one, by the way. Philip Gaming, I've missed you as well. I've missed so many of you. I sincerely hope that you guys have been okay. I want to apologize to you because of the fact that I've been away for so long, and I've been inconsistent with streaming and with just having the passion for this. And I really had a breakthrough tonight when I was explaining all that stuff to my friend Melanie, and then it just hit me like the supreme heretic in me is missing, and that's what clicked. The flame reignited at that point, and I think it was a needed thing. I am, I've accepted that. And like I said, guys, it starts with tomorrow. Tomorrow is my D-Day. We're here actually in about 7 hours when that leasing office opens. Because, they're sitting here telling me, oh, you didn't pay us $925 on the 5th, so we are terminating your lease because you're 6 days late, whatever. And it is what it is, and I'm going to have to try to negotiate something with them so that they don't go into eviction proceeding. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm only $400 short. Maybe a miracle will happen. Maybe I'll come into $400. Who knows? I'm hoping. Otherwise, they're just going to have to keep their asses waiting until Thursday or Friday when my paycheck comes. But getting back to it, yeah, Wes, I am going in person. Absolutely going to talk to them in person. I'm not going to give them any money until I speak to them in person. That's a must. You don't just throw money in a slot, or drop it in an envelope and throw it in a slot or anything, or just hand them money. You got to go and actually talk to somebody in person and negotiate. I'm not just going to blindly hand them money. Oh, here you go. No. They're going to give me an explanation. I'm going to give them an explanation. And then I'll say, listen, if I pay you, and if I end up somehow having the full amount by tomorrow, I will tell them, if I pay you in full plus late fees, I expect that my lease be reinstated with all rights and privileges, and we call it a wash. That's exactly what I'm going to say. And if they don't agree to that, then, so be it. I'll be like, take me to court. And I'll stay past the 3-day notice, which ends tomorrow. But even if they don't take the full rent, if I have the full rent on me, and they just say, no, sorry, then I'll say, yeah, all right, then take me to court. Because I will tell the court, I tried to pay you the full rent, and I have the receipts for these here money orders. Because I'm going to get money orders so I can get receipts. So I have a plan. But yeah, you guys are talking about the economy. Yes, they're doing a good job of crashing it rapidly. Automation is killing shit. This 15-minute city idea, and I hate this, and we're getting back to talking about this. I remember, God, Will was on one of those last shows when we were talking about the 15-minute cities. I mean, this reliance on everybody's like, let's order DoorDash, let's order Instacart, let's do this, and that. And granted, look, I'm not going to knock people that actually go out and dash or do Instacart orders to get them done for other people. The workers, hey, I appreciate that, because all of that convenience shit made a whole new gig economy. It really did. But at the same time, okay, there's too much of a reliance on that shit. Me, when I go out, all right, if I need to go get something from Dollar General, I go to Dollar General and get the shit. I don't order it. I don't order my alkaline batteries. Oh, hey, I have all of a sudden need for double A's. Can somebody go get them? Can I get DoorDash for my double A batteries? Can I get DoorDash for my fucking vodka? Shit like that. I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'll go to the damn liquor store and buy a bottle of bourbon, or I'll go to the Dollar General and get double A batteries, or I'll go for my own groceries. I don't need an Instacart. You know, I'll go get my own groceries and go to the stupid self checkout machine and have that thing piss me off. But, I mean, let's be real. I'm old school, so I do it the old fashioned way. If I order pizza for carryout, I go pick up my pizza. And it just creates another tip thing too. Oh, I had the DoorDash guy bring my shit, so now I got to tip him. It's no need that, man. It's great if like for disabled people and stuff like that. Yeah, that idea is great. But for somebody like me, I mean, I don't really need it. Young people are so reliant on it, like the college students, people like that. They can't even walk across campus and go sit down in a cafe and drink coffee anymore. I want my coffee delivered. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I mean, I just and yeah, hats off to you, Wes. One thing about Wes that I'll say is, my God, that man's work ethic is awesome. It really is. Wes, God, you're one of the hardest working people I know. You really are, dude. Um, B makes a great point. Why pay the markup in a poor economy? Yeah. It just like for a lot of people, able-bodied people to me, unless you're super lazy, you don't really need to order in. I mean, you can go pick it up. I'm just glad that Wes has opportunity, to make money on the side. I mean, that's good for him. And I'm happy for all the Dashers and for the Uber Eats people and for the Instacart people, all of it. Because it's good that those opportunities are there. But on the flip side, I just don't use those type of services. I'm pretty old school when it comes to doing my own stuff for myself. So, Wes said, I have a nice lady that always orders booze and tips really well. I mean, I suppose, you could tip pretty good for booze. Oh Jesus, no! What kind of texts are you sending me? God, you know. Oh, this is about Brian the Observer. Nice. I just was not equating BTV, dude. It's late. I'm tired. I'm normally not up on for one on a Sunday night this late because let's see, in 4 hours, I'm usually getting up to leave for work. So this is a rare opportunity. But but yeah, it just I'm glad to just be able to do this tonight. It's good. I don't necessarily have a scheduled day yet that I can nail down for sure that I can do United Resistance. I do want to bring back United Resistance in some form or fashion. Um, I'm going to use the old show intro, obviously. Um, I am going to put together all new co hosts. So, any of you out there are interested in co hosting on United Resistance, you let me know and we'll go from there. You know, that show needs to come back. It's an important program. We talk about important things. And if we have to relaunch it, we'll relaunch it. If we continue from the last episode, we continue from the last episode. But, either way, United Resistance needs to make a comeback for sure. As far as everything else, I still kind of want to bring back Midnight Prism as well. Tobat's favorite was Midnight Prism. I know Coyle's favorite was Midnight Prism. So there are some Prism fans out there. And you guys seem to like when I talk about Sasquatch and UFOs. And we had fun making fun of the Sasquatch lady, which is hilarious. That one lady that looked like Janice from the Muppets, which was funny. Yeah, to heal him, I one thing at a time, dude. Because again, once I go and face the leasing office tomorrow and figure out if I can even stay under my roof, which, by the way, let me take down this virtual background. I'll actually show you guys my a little bit from what you can see anyway of my apartment and take this off. So here's my apartment, and let me make the camera a little bit better so it's a little sharper here. And there we go. So, as you can see, my front door, I'm sitting at my kitchen table. Back there is the patio. I have Will's old 70-inch TV. So things are starting to work out a little bit. There are 2 bedrooms in here. So, it is what it is. They're not going to kick me out of here without a fight, guys. Come on. I'm not just going to roll over and be like, yes, I'm going to leave with a 3-day notice. If they play a little hardball, I'll be like, fine, take me to court. Take me to court. And I'll stay here 30 extra days anyway. So, hey, anybody want to come to Ohio and be a roommate, there you go. But yeah, it's one of them things where, like I said, I'll figure it out. I've been in survivor mode for months and months and months, guys. God, to take it back since I sold Mom's house, I've been in survivor mode. I mean, if you really want to take it back further, I've been in that way since she died. Even getting a house originally together to sell. It hasn't been easy. And those of you that have been here from the beginning, you know that. You've been here through this whole journey with me. Through barely making it, surviving, scratching, clawing, borrowing from people, having to crowdfund, the whole 9 yards. It hasn't been easy at all. I'm amazed I'm still alive. I made it through all this. But, that's the whole thing. I've just never given up. I've compartmentalized it and just kept moving on, just kept soldiering through. And I made it all the way to an accomplishment. Like I said, whether I keep this place or not, this is an accomplishment. So I eventually made it. Low spec. It's great to see you, man. Good old low spec man. Nice to see you, buddy. Oh yeah. Hey, you guys. I gotta move the laptop to show you, but above the kitchen, if you see, when I tilt the laptop, see that Yankee Stadium thing? That's my little memorial to Will. And right in the cross on the wall, that's my mom's old cross that was in her room. So, but I have a tribute to Will. That was one of the first things I hung up, was that Yankee Stadium thing right up above the entrance to the kitchen. So that was important to me, as it was important to mention that every show from here on out is dedicated to Will. I'm glad that we talked about that at the top of the show, because he was such a part of this, and we all remember him fondly, man. I still remember, you guys, that thing where I think it was one of the streams that we did when I was at the extended stay, and the stream stayed on, and Will was somehow still live, and you could just hear him in the background, and the camera was fixated on some crazy shit. And I remember Etep going in there and laughing his ass off about it. Oh my God. There's such good memories. Will was just so salt of the earth organic. Like, he was just funny in his own way. Like, just, annoying New Yorker funny when he wasn't trying to be funny. Like, he was just Will, man. But he was such a good person. God, he was such a good person. I just wish you guys could have seen in person the heart that guy had, just how genuinely nice he actually was. He really was. Oh man. Yeah. Rita, that thing, when we went to East Palestine, that was important. And I'm glad that he went with me for that. That was an experience I got to share with him that I'll never forget. That's one of the best things I got to ever do. Man. But anyways, guys, I just, it was important for me tonight to do this program. It was important to get back on the horse. It was important to reignite the passion for the truth, and obviously to catch up with you guys because I've missed you, but reignite the passion for the truth and talk about what's happening. And I'm glad that we got to talk about the Jones news because that's very recent because that happened just hours ago. The thing is, let's see, how's the water in Ohio? Well, honestly, dude, up here it's fine, but we're in the Great Lakes watershed, so we're fine. You go down into the Ohio River, I'm not so sure that they're fine over there. So, that just is what it is, dude. Different parts of the state. This is northeastern Ohio, so I'm up near the top in the east, north and east. Yeah, Rita. He did like just genuinely give off that vibe. He really did. I yeah, Tobet, the election 2020 show was great. I remember that. Oh man. I just yeah. So many good times. So many good times. But at any rate, like I said, guys, I'm so thankful I got the opportunity to just do this again. To plug the mic back in and say, I'm gonna go live and I'm going back to myself. This was an important step for me to be the supreme heretic again, to go and just be true. Because I lost so much of me during all of this time. So, all right. As I said, I will let you guys know when I can figure out a schedule to do United Resistance. I know for a fact I want to bring that back. And if any of you out there want to co-host, please reach out via Twitter, DM, let me know if you have interest. You know, I just want to bring that show back. It is an important show, and we need to continue it. Will would have wanted it that way, and it's just the importance of United Resistance can't be stated enough. I mean, we had big guests on there, guys. We need to bring that back. Radioactive, unfortunately, if you didn't know, Will passed away back in September. So, unfortunately, I came home from work one day, found him deceased in his bed, and it was awful. It was awful. But at least he went in his sleep, and I'm thankful for that. If you want any more details, please DM me. I really don't feel comfortable necessarily talking about going into detail about it anyway on the air. Yeah. But yeah, it is just past half past the hour, 1:31 a.m. here in the great state of Ohio. I'm starting to fade a bit, so I think that I'm going to sign off here. But I want to say thank you to you guys. Also, last call, if you're interested in co-hosting for United Resistance, please reach out to me, and we'll discuss it. If anybody wants to help, And normally I would have done a, Give, Send, Go. I still have that Give, Send, Go, I think, that's open that I had from a few months back. But as you guys know, it takes a few days to get a payout from that. I kind of have to handle this thing tomorrow with urgency. If anybody does want to help out with that final figure of $405, that's what I'm short to make the full rent payment plus the late fees that they want. Please reach out. Let me know about that. I have a Cash App. It's at Patriot Journalist 74. Of course, if you would like to reach out over PayPal, just again, DM me and I'll give you my PayPal. I don't think I have the bot signed in tonight, so it's not dropping my PayPal link every 5 minutes in the chat, but it is what it is. But if anybody wants to help out with that, I have Cash App and I have PayPal, so take your pick. Those will be the best options at this point, since I got to handle this in the morning. So, again, thank you much. Radioactive, I am going to look into that when I do bring United Resistance back. It might not be a bad idea just to do a whole relaunch and then launch from an episode 1 standpoint. But I do need to kind of find a co-host or hosts first. So, again, reach out and let me know. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and obviously take care of one another. Prepare, pray, do what you need to do, man. We got to get right. We got to get right with whatever we believe in. I like to think we got to get right with God. But it is what it is. Just make sure that we're looking out for one another at the end of the day. That's all we can ask. So, all right. Let me do a little outro here, and I will see y'all later. Oh, if I can find a good outro to do. I can't decide on the outro tonight. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot True Sailor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? And you get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death rocking.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I do some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.